XRP completely set free. Now, of course, the OGs in this community know that XRP as a matter of law. We knew it hasn't been a security since July 13th, 2023, when we got the summary judgment ruling from Judge Torres making that declaration. So XRP has been set free. It's just that the market perception was Ripple's tied up in this lawsuit. It's never going to be allowed to run. And so XRP, by extension, is never going to have a bull run. Well, now that this case and the appeals have officially been dropped, and we can say that the case is officially over, that market perception now becomes reality, and this is why you've seen XRP take off already, and this party's just getting started. Let's get you caught up to speed. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I wanted to start off here real quick, though. This is an important point right here. Many people don't understand how to play the game. Imagine playing Monopoly and never buying any investment or investment that generates income. Imagine you just went around collecting $200, giving your money to the rich and trying to stay out of jail. Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's how most people live their lives. And this is why we've been talking about stacking not just XRP, other additional utility cryptocurrencies, our precious metals, which, by the way, I think you're about to see a short squeeze on gold with the tariffs being implemented on Switzerland, and specifically the 1 kilo bars. This is going to be a big problem, especially for the shorts trying to cover their butts on the COMEX. So watch out for gold. It already went up to 3,500 per ounce yesterday, and I expect it to be pushing towards 4,000 here shortly. Our silver is about to break out to above 35 bucks, and it's going to go up to $50 per ounce as well. And so we've been talking about doing this, but then for me, the move on XRP and crypto really in general has been to acquire these new rails to the new financial system and then leverage them back into more hard assets. So I just wanted to bring this up to set the tone and remind everybody, many of you have started stacking those assets, but now how do we compound it? Yes, XRP's been set free, it's off to the races, and we're about to enter an alt season and I'll make a bunch of money. But what are you going to do next? You're going to cash out that XRP and that crypto to go buy a little whippy whip and rent a little wifey, or are we going to compound it to buy some more assets? I encourage you to do the latter, but I'm not here to give anybody financial advice or any relationship advice for that matter either. But I also wanted to warn everybody, XRP Community Warning. With the recent news and XRP hype, just remember that the scammers are going to be working overtime to get at your crypto. You will not receive a friend request or DM from me first in Discord. I will wait for your friend request and DM. So for those of you guys, bunch of new people coming into our Discord family, I'm glad that you're getting tapped in, but they are attacking our group like never before. I've never seen anything like this. They're paying to get in our group. They're masking and hiding. We're doing a full audit of everybody in our Discord group right now to try to protect our community. We're doing everything that we can, but please understand, when you come into our Discord group, I will not send you a friend request or DM first. I will wait for you to send me one. I will never trade for you or direct you to move crypto ever. We do not accept crypto for any of our services, merch, one-on-ones, Patreon, etc. It's all US dollars. I do not use WhatsApp. I will never direct you to move crypto. I will never ask how your trading is going. I will never ask you about the Flare airdrop. I will never offer copy trading. I will never ask about a QFS wallet. So please stay safe out there. I've got some stories that just came in the past 48 hours that break my heart. I am disgusted with these scammers, but that is not going to stop them. And with the recent hype and everything happening for XRP, they're going to be working around the clock. Nobody is coming to save you. Just run with the premise that nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's helping you with wallets, exchanges, moving crypto. If they are approaching you to do so, just assume that they are a scammer. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. It is absolutely cruel. I wish that there was more people, that we could help out more people in that regard. It's why I don't even really talk about wallets too much, because I don't want people to take something that I said out of context and said, oh, you said this wallet might not be good, so I jumped to move my crypto and then I sent it to a scammer or something like that. Happens every single day, but they're going to pick it up from here with everything going on for XRP. So just had to get that out of the way. Let's get to some XRP hype, baby. What are you talking about here? Stu Alderati. Following the commission's vote today, the SEC and Ripple formally filed directly with the Second Circuit to dismiss their appeals. The end, and now back to business. So the parties have filed a joint dismissal of the appeals. just like we said they would. We said it was going to come before the schedule update that was due next week on August 15th. It has been delivered yesterday. The commission voted on it yesterday. The parties both submitted it. This case is over. It is done. And we also got a tweet from the Bearable guy yesterday as well, too. The Bear smiles. How about that one? Bearable guy 123, the anonymous Riddler Bear, coming out of the woods to give us a little tweet here yesterday. What a perfect ending to this story. Case dropped, case officially over, and the Bear returns to tell us that he's got a big old smile on his face. How's the XRP family doing out there today too, huh? And I don't want to hear it. If you're crying about, oh, this isn't much of a pump, lock in, please. Lock in. His party's just getting started. Okay? Come on. Vivo Power sees what's happening. This is the XRP Treasury, one of the XRP Treasury companies, and they're now going to buy $100 million of Ripple shares, becoming the first U.S.-listed company to offer direct exposure to Ripple. The move implies XRP value at 47 cents, a major discount versus market, and underscores that Vivo Power is an XRP-focused digital asset enterprise. So it looks like they're acquiring XRP, but now they've made this move to acquire Ripple equity, and I think that the reason why is because you're getting XRP at a discount. Basically, the company Ripple has a big bag of XRP, and if you look at the valuation of the company Ripple, it is extremely discounted to the net asset value of the XRP that they hold. XRP is up about $33.30, right? And the discount that you're getting is because the Ripple valuation is so low compared to that net asset value that their XRP is actually worth. So I believe that that's where they're coming up with this number, the implied XRP value at 47 cents, is because the Ripple equity that they're purchasing, despite Ripple equity actually going up significantly since the November election, it's still at a discount to net asset value. And I've been talking about how grossly undervalued Ripple equity is and how they are going to have the largest IPO in the history of the world if they do go IPO route. And so Vivo Power, just one of many XRP corporate treasuries, but it's just interesting to see that play, which I think is a great one, right? You acquire bags of XRP, just, spot XRP, but then you also leverage that investment in the company Ripple, which indirectly gets you exposure to XRP. And you have that upside on the company Ripple, which obviously is still growing. They just made another acquisition yesterday, $200 million acquisition of Rail Financial, the leading B2B stablecoin payment providers in the world, doing up to 10% of that volume, which is about 36 billion, I think, is going to be that volume that they're going to be bringing over here to the XRP ledger. Absolutely love to see it. Digital Asset Investor makes a good point right here. For the last 2 weeks, CNBC has let Tom Lee have the spare room to promote Ethereum constantly. And before that, it was Bitcoin. I mean, they pull up Tom Lee every single day to have him pump up the markets. He pumps up the Magnificent Seven stocks. He pumps up Bitcoin. And here recently, he's pumping up Ethereum. And DAI says, if we don't see Brad Garlinghouse on to talk about the SEC case being over, you'll know that the propaganda machine is still fully intact. And I think that there's no way for them to avoid this story. And in fact, I think that now the move's going to be to lean in. Because as soon as Wall Street gets those ETFs ready to go, the suits are going to be selling it with slideshow presentations, and they're going to be calling up Brad to come have a permanent spot on CNBC. Now, maybe they won't go that far, but I don't think that they can avoid it at this point. And now that they'll have their products ready to sell us, once again, do they want you to have XRP and for you to be your own bank and to have your relationship with the XRP Ledger DEX without any middlemen involved? No. They want you far away from that. In fact, if Elizabeth Warren and her gang had their way, you wouldn't even have access to cold storage, right? We wouldn't have any of that. You'd be in a CBDC world, no exposure other than through Wall Street products. And so they don't want you to be your own bank. They don't want you to understand how to use the XRP Ledger DEX without a middleman. And that's exactly what we've taught you how to do. In case you missed it, just go to my new playlist, XRP Ledger DEX. I have a video in there titled XRP DEX Trading that shows you how to swap between XRP and RLUSD or any other token on the XRP Ledger without involving any other middlemen. But see, now the middlemen have showed up, and they're going to be showing up in droves. and they're going to be selling it on CNBC. And I said it last night, I'll say it again. By the time Jim Cramer's given us the tutorial on how to buy XRP, I will be taking some profit. Okay, if I see a clip of Jim Cramer telling us how to buy XRP, I'm hitting the sell button on a little bit of my XRP, because you know what's going to happen next, okay? We do not want the Cramer kiss of death, but I'm afraid that it is coming. Him and the rest of Wall Street, now that they'll have their products ready to sell you, they're going to be looking to really pump this thing up. And BlackRock's going to join the party too. Nate Garassi says, yes, I think that BlackRock was waiting to see this filing before filing for their iShares XRP ETF. I'll own it if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, it makes zero sense for them to ignore crypto assets beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. Otherwise, they're basically saying that Bitcoin and ETH are the only ones that will ever have value. No, not going to happen, not a chance. I just spoke with somebody who worked at BlackRock last month, and they had the opinion that there's just no way. These guys live, breathe money. That's all they care about. And so there's just not a chance. Not a chance that BlackRock does not have an XRP ETF. And it's not just BlackRock. It's going to be the central banks and these institutions that are ready to flip the switch. This is from Smoke Dog. When this case is settled, this will give the seal of approval to central banks and other financial institutions to start using XRP through the XRP ledger. Documented. Now we go live. Yeah, that's the point that we're at right now. Dom Trader View says that Bitcoin dominance is close to falling off a cliff. It is currently trading under a large apex of two uptrends, the 12-month rolling VWAP and a strong support zone. This area gave the bounce a few weeks ago that flushed out altcoins. This is the first time all cycle a pullback was not followed by a V reversal. I am keeping very close eyes here as the floor can give out, which would send alts in the next weeks. So that Bitcoin dominance looking like it wants to break down, and this would send us into that true alt season. Now, it's already XRP season, and despite what I'm looking at right now on the chart in the last basically 20 minutes since I went to go start up the recording of this video, the whole market did come down. I don't even know what hit. Bitcoin red candle, Ethereum went up to 4,000 and then had a red candle, and XRP was consolidating above $3.30. We did get the daily close above 330 yesterday, which was just beautiful to see. A little bit of a pullback here, but I mean, it's just not that much, right? Just back to 327 right now. Not sure what's taking place. Market makers just beating us up here to finish off the week, but we'll see how we close off the daily. But the structure here on XRP is just incredibly bullish. The only reason why we didn't pump higher is because it takes time for the news to spread. So you're still waiting for the masses that need to be told by CNBC and Fox Business that the case is officially over before they're going to feel comfortable investing. So you're still waiting for that news to spread. And then the other thing that happened is, as XRP was pumping up yesterday, you already had people that were willing to sell their XRP at 320, 325, 330. And obviously we topped off there at about 337 is where we went up to yesterday. And so these are just short-term traders, people who don't know what the hell they're doing or what they hold. And so they're just taking a little bit of profit here and there. They were probably scared the XRP went down to 272. Oh, is this bull run over? And they're thinking to myself, oh, if it just gets back up to 330, I'll be break even and I can sell out. Or the short-term scalpers that are, just flipping little bags here and there. And so that's what we ran into, was just some, a little bit of a sell wall on the order books. But we did see big inflows start to come in. I think we tracked over 40 million in inflows. But we actually had net outflows yesterday in XRP, which was pretty interesting to see. So despite XRP going up in price substantially, there was more money that came out of XRP than actually went in. And that's what I'm talking about. Once we start to get those positive inflows coming in, and then the XRP ETFs will be live in October 100%, those ETF inflows start to come in, that's what's going to drive us a lot higher. It's just a matter of inflows right now, and you have to remember who we're dealing with. We're dealing with the average retail investor who has no clue what they're doing. We're trying to get them caught up to speed. And that's why they should subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if they aren't already tapped in, you should send them my content so we can get them caught up to speed. Because average Joe Blow wants to listen to Joe Schmo in a suit on CNBC tell them that it's safe to invest, instead of taking that risk, holding their you know what and making the bets when the blood was in the streets. And that's exactly what our community did. Now we're being rewarded. For the average participants, though, they need to get caught up to speed. That money's going to start to come in, but we have not seen the institutional inflows yet. And so I'm not anticipating that we, are going to be looking at a $30 XRP this month or next month, but my targets remain for XRP moving up to $4 or $5 here by next week. And then I'm looking at a $7 to $10 XRP by September 7th. Okay. Everything's still intact. And in fact, this timing of the appeals being dropped was exactly kind of the catalyst that I was waiting for. I said, something's coming. And we started to talk about how the appeals were going to be dropped because we knew that the schedule update was due next Friday. And so that's why I was expecting this run up. Over the past few days, people have been asking me, is the bottom in? Is it going to go back to 272? I said, I don't really see it. We could get one more test, but it looks to be higher from here. And for the reasons that I've mentioned in the catalysts that are coming, sure enough, the appeals drop. The rate cut rally's already underway, and the ETFs will go live in October, 100% certainty on that. And so we'll rally in anticipation of that. And then after the ETFs go live, it'll be nothing but inflows after that because it's been suppressed, it's been held back. And when you tell people that they can't invest in something, they're going to want to invest in that thing. And that's what's going to happen with the XRP ETFs. People are going to say, okay, I'm done with this Bitcoin ETF. Okay, I don't care about Ethereum anymore. Let's go make some real money. And they're going to full port to the XRP ETFs in the XRP ledger. That's what's underway right now. XRP has been completely set free. We're just getting started. Let those inflows continue to pour in and know you're not late. And tell your friends, family, and loved ones that they're not late either. Let's get them caught up to speed. Get those bags up because this bull run is going to continue. We're not even close to being finished. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend out there. If you want to get tapped in with our Discord community, now's a great time to do so for many reasons, but specifically tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping my full portfolio update covering everything that I hold, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then next week on August 15th, we're going to be having our exclusive Discord call, Crypto Estate Planning with Mark Kohler. So for those of you guys that want to build and preserve generational wealth through crypto, this is going to be the call that you're going to want to get tapped in with us next Friday. So join our Discord group today. You sign up through Patreon, get access to Discord. Watch out for the scammers and impersonators, and get on in there and get connected with us. We'll get you caught up to speed and fully tapped in. Have a great weekend. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.